Alright guys, today we're going to be reacting to 5 signs you are raising your kids in Germany. So let me get this straight. So if you live in the United States and you are raising your kids with these 5 signs, that means you're raising them in Germany. Am I wrong? Or am I right? Am I getting this title correct? That means if I live in Greenland and I'm raising my kids with these 5 signs, that means I'm raising my kids from Greenland in Germany. That's what the title says. Am I right or wrong? Let me know in the comment section below. In the meantime, thank you so much for those folks that have become part of the Discord. You're now part of the Cool Kids Club. Thank you so much for your support. Merry Christmas for everybody. If you're alone, hey, you have me. Don't worry about it. We're going to do this together. Meantime, guys, we're just going to jump in and enjoy the video. Let's jump in.
Today, I am going to be sharing with you the 5 signs that you are raising your kids in Germany. As a New Zealander who is raising my 2 children in Germany, I have to say that becoming a mum has been the biggest culture shock that I have experienced so far in Germany. And although New Zealand and Germany share very similar core values when it comes to raising our children, we also have very different parenting styles. And I'm going to talk a little bit about this today. And I don't want to generalize too much because I know that not all German parents are going to be like this and not all New Zealand parents are going to be like this. But overall, this is what I have experienced in Germany. Okay, so with all that being said, let's get into it. One of the signs that you are raising your kids in Germany is when you are at a playground or a play group or play date and a German mother will tell your child that they do not have to share their toy with their child. And okay, I'm going to give you an example of this because this is something that happened to me the other day and this still always...
That's oof. That's ooh, man. That's the rough. That's a rough one. That's a rough one, man. Wow. Imagine the other mom say, he's not sharing the toys with you. Oh, that is a left field. That's literally out of the left field. You can't even see it coming. Wow.
Shocks me a little bit. My little boy Matteo, he's 2.5 and he's not very good at sharing right now. He's learning, but he's not the best. And we were at the playground, he brought along his favorite truck and a little boy came over straight away, grabbed Matteo's truck, he was crying. So my first reaction when I saw this little boy crying, like most New Zealanders, I said, Matteo, why don't you share your truck with this little boy, maybe you can play together. And then the little boy's mother, who had seen everything that went on, said to Matteo, no, you don't have to share your truck, that is your truck and you can decide whether you want to share it or not. I'm just always a little bit taken back when I see this reaction from German parents because this is not how this situation would be dealt with in New Zealand. And I've talked about this before in another video. I gave like an example with a little boy sharing his ball. It was a similar example and this just happens all the time in Germany. It's also happened, Matteo has gone over to kids and started playing with their toys and the mothers will jump in and say, no, that is my son's toy and he gets to decide if he wants to share it. Honestly, I get this. I can understand why German parents do this and it makes total sense. It's just something that I am still trying to get used to. I've noticed that many German parents are very direct and very confident in their role as a parent. They're not afraid to tell you exactly what they think. And that can be kind of intimidating when you're a new mum, especially in...
Yeah, because you come from the English. You come from the English tradition, how to do parenting. That's why. But I do believe, I'm agree. Let me just take the side of the Germans here. I have to take the side of the Germans.
A new mum who is not from Germany. Another sign that you are raising your kids in Germany is when you start to get overwhelmed with the amount of shoes and protective weather gear you need to buy for your kids. My little girl Amelia is in her last year of kindergarten and this winter in Germany, they take kids' footwear very, very seriously, especially in winter time. So this year for winter in kindergarten, Amelia needed snow boots, gum boots, regular boots, shoes, house shoes, of course, sports shoes.
Boy, She from New Zealand. She's not used to that. I don't know how the snow in there. You guys have snow in New Zealand. I have no idea, right? Yeah, you should buy all the stuff. You have to be responsible.
And also they do sports inside when it's really cold, so she needed these kind of like gymnastics type shoes. So that was 7 pairs of shoes, and during that winter she grew out of a couple of pair of her shoes, so I think I had to buy like 9 pairs of shoes all up. It is serious business trying to keep up with the kids' shoe situation in Germany, and not only is it footwear, it is protective weather gear. Amelia needs a complete snowsuit and a complete rain suit, and she is constantly growing, so I'm just constantly having to buy her all of this gear. And in Germany, it's kind of like there's no excuse for bad weather. The kids need to have the gear to protect them from any type of weather, because in Germany it snows, it's rainy in winter, and you know, the kids still want to go out and play. In New Zealand, it's pretty different. I know we don't have this kind of extreme weather, but I feel like New Zealand kids, they can get away with wearing 1 pair of shoes for every single occasion, and we just don't really care, you know, we don't take it that seriously. Also, another thing, German
I
parents...
can relate to that. When I was a kid, my parents only bought me every year 2 pairs of shoes. And that was it. That was it. And I have a couple Puerto Ricans in this channel that they know what I'm talking about. You just have the shoes for the first semester, and the other pair of shoes for the second semester. That's it. And sometimes there was no money. You just get 1 pair of shoes for the entire year. That's how it was, man.
Parents only buy really good quality shoes for their kids, which I think is a really good thing. I also buy good quality shoes for my kids, but they can be really, really expensive. So it's a good thing that in Germany they have a lot of these children's clothing markets where you can get really good quality secondhand shoes for a really reasonable price. Okay, so another sign that you are raising your kids in Germany is when you can confidently breastfeed your baby wherever you want without getting looks of disapproval. I breastfed both of my kids in Germany, and I was able to do it anywhere and still feel comfortable. I would do it in cafes, I would do it on the street, you know, on a park bench. I would just breastfeed my kids anywhere. It didn't matter if my kids were hungry, I would feed them, and I would always do it quite discreetly. You'd never like see my boob flop out or anything. So I would, you know, I do it in a very discreet way, but
As long as you're discreet, you're not sexualizing anything. You don't have to, you know, take your nipple out. You're okay. As soon as you start seeing like, let me just take out my nipple, that's a problem.
Here where I would breastfeed, and I see a lot of German mums doing this. I remember there would be times in Germany in those early days where my baby would be like screaming with hunger, and I would just have to sit down on the side of the road, like on a bench, and feed my baby. I never once got a disapproving look or somebody that made me feel uncomfortable. I'd even get other German women kind of giving me a look of approval, you know, good on you for breastfeeding in public, that kind of thing. I remember being in New Zealand with Amelia when she was 6 months old, and I just presumed it was going to be exactly the same in New Zealand as far as breastfeeding and breastfeeding, but it actually wasn't. And I remember getting some really disapproving looks for breastfeeding.
It's culture. Germany doesn't fit in New Zealand. New Zealand doesn't fit in Germany. You have to get that you have to get that in your mind. Germany doesn't feel in America. America doesn't feel in Germany. I don't understand why a lot of foreigners don't understand that. I mean, it's like you go to Germany, they have the way of living. You have to stick with that. You cannot bring your New Zealand way of thinking there. That's why a lot of foreigners don't understand. Like, okay, it's okay in Germany, but when you go back to New Zealand, it's a different ball game. You have to understand that.
Amelia in public. I just really appreciate the fact that Germany is so pro breastfeeding. It is the most natural way to feed your baby, and it shouldn't be something that is frowned upon, or women shouldn't have to go and hide to feed their baby. Okay, so another sign that you are raising your kids in Germany is when you are at a playground and you see a child doing something that you would consider extremely dangerous, like almost life-threatening, and then the other German mums around are not fazed in the slightest about it. They're barely even watching. And honestly, this was one of the hardest things for me to kind of get used to. I've talked about this in other videos. I have to bring it up again because I believe that this is a huge cultural difference between parenting in New Zealand and parenting in Germany. German parents, they let their children take risks and experiment and explore.
Yeah, that's good. Let them take risks and let them explore. That's good. However, if your kid is on top of the swing, right, 15 feet above. I'm sorry. If your kid is 15 on top of that 15 feet swing, saying, "Hey, daddy, look at me," and you're like, "What?" You're looking at him like this. What are you doing over there? You have to get out. I'm sorry. I'm not letting my kid just be there. I'll let him take risks, take a couple hits, all that stuff. But I'm not letting him just be on that top of that swing 15 feet above just to say hi, daddy. No way.
Floor. And by doing this, I have noticed that German kids have very, very good gross motor skills at a very, very young age. This definitely has a lot to do with the German parenting style of letting their children take risks. So I'm going to give you an example. Close to where we live, there is a playground with a really, really high fence made of cobblestone. And the kids like to climb up on this fence. They can kind of put their feet through the little gaps in the cobblestone and they climb up and they like to walk around the fence which goes around the entire playground. This is a very high fence and I would consider this to be very dangerous. Like if a child lost balance, they could really hurt themselves falling down. Except the
He
kids
will fall down, but will not kill him.
in my neighborhood do it all the time. They walk around this fence. My little girl Amelia, she's 6, and she saw some of her friends climbing up on this fence and walking around, and she wanted to do the same, except I was the only mum that totally freaked out and said, Amelia, you can't do this. Amelia was really upset that she was the only kid that wasn't allowed to walk around this really high fence. And the other German mums would
The only way. Okay, let me just make the German scene in the middle. I would do it. First of all, I'll just raise my kids where I just raise my kids for how I think is correct. I don't have to get opinions on anybody, but the only way I would do it is you can climb, but let me just make sure everything is okay. Okay, climb. Just make sure. Okay, let's see. Okay, that's fine. And just watch a little bit, right? But not like, just climb that 10 feet wall and good luck. Nah, I'm not doing that.
just kind of like, oh, it's fine, it's not that dangerous, and just she'll be fine. And so I reluctantly let Amelia climb up and walk around this fence, but in my heart I was like, okay, this is so dangerous. I don't know whether I should be letting her do this. And then I was kind of questioning myself. I was like, am I crazy letting her do this, or am I crazy for not letting her do this? Because there's a
No, see, that's not okay. So you have to understand what is good for your kids. Only you understand that as a mom. You have to believe yourself, your mom. Probably the German mom, they've been doing this for years. You're not. You're just entering a new culture. I would not suggest you doing that because you're not comfortable.
Group of German mothers here who are all not in the slightest bit worried about their children doing this. I'm the only one that's panicking about this, and so I reluctantly let Amelia do it, and she was absolutely fine. She didn't fall off and she wasn't like running along the fence. She was walking like slowly around. But still, I didn't feel comfortable about it, and I don't know whether I should have let her. It was a tough kind of situation to be in because, Amelia was going to be the odd one out, and she really wanted to do it. So
I think you have to develop more confidence as a mom. I know social pressure is a thing, but you have to be careful. As a mom, you cannot just allow people's opinions to just deviate or influence the way you think is best for your kids. This is not the kid's fault. This is your fault. You know what's best because everybody's doing it now. Your kid has to do it now, man. That's not how it goes, man. I do believe that you have to let them take risks, but I'm sorry that wall, it looks kind of high. I'm gonna lie. I'm come from the culture of climbing trees. I used to climb 10 to 15 and 20 feet trees up to the top. Yeah, but there was always adults, they were watching, but that level would nah.
don't know. I don't know where to draw the line when it comes to this kind of thing. Okay, so another sign that you are raising your kids in Germany is when you go to a swimming pool, like a public swimming pool or a lake, and you see mothers everywhere in all shapes and sizes strutting around in their bikinis and swimsuits. So they could be 8 months pregnant with this huge big belly chasing around after their toddler, and they don't care. They're just like, I want to have fun with my kids. I don't care that I'm 8 months pregnant. Not only will you see a lot of pregnant women in swimsuits, you'll also see a lot of women postpartum in swimsuits. So maybe they've given birth like 2 weeks ago and they've got their tiny little baby under their arm, and they do not care that they have stretch marks and that they haven't lost their baby weight. I just think this body positivity is so awesome in Germany, because I think a lot of parents in other countries would refuse to get in a swimsuit if they didn't look perfect, if you know what I mean. Like,
That's not body positivity. That's just nobody's saying do not go to the nobody's saying don't go to the pool because you look fat. I don't know, just from New Zealand, never been New Zealand. I don't know how the New Zealand culture is, but there's nothing about body positivity about that. It's just that it is on you. You go to the pool if you feel like it, whether you're fat, skinny, or left or right, and white with black. It doesn't matter. I don't. What this has to do with body positivity? I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I think there's some issues that you have to deal with. That's what it is, man. Body positivity.
if they had stretch marks, or if they were
Yeah. Why having stretch marks in your body is equivalent of not going to a pool? Why? Who's putting these social stigmas?
carrying a bit of extra baby weight, they would hide away rather than just get in there and play with their kids and make memories and have fun with their kids. When I was pregnant with my little girl Amelia, I would never ever have gone out in public and showed my big.
See, that's you. That's what I'm saying. There's not that body positivity. So body positivity means that all the females have to give you the high five. Hey, good job. Good job. Hey, you 500 pounds and you still out here. Good job. Why you need that? Just go and you enjoy yourself. Just go out and you enjoy yourself. I didn't know. I did not know there was a social construct where you have to, if you're pregnant or after pregnancy, you cannot go to a pool because social stigma. I mean, I went to the pool last summer here, and there was every type of sizes over there. Pregnant woman, my wife was pregnant, after pregnant, no pregnant, fat, skinny. It's maybe in New Zealand. Maybe I'm not understanding New Zealand.
Pregnant belly off in a bikini. And I totally changed my mindset when I was pregnant with Mateo, my son. I would take Amelia to the lake, the river, the pool, and I would see all these other mums, having fun with their kids, splashing around in the water, getting in there with their kids and enjoying themselves. And I was the odd one out. And then I was like, hey, I want to do that too. So I reluctantly put on my swimsuit with my huge big pregnant belly sticking out, and I got in that water and had fun with my little girl.
Yeah, I don't understand why would you not do it. Listen, folks. I might be a little bit not understand the situation, but why would you not do it in the first place?
No one looked at me weirdly, man. No one cared, and I was able to just get in there and make memories with my little girl without worrying about how I looked. So anyway, guys,
well, some of these signs were kind of confusing, folks. I'm saying it was kind of confusing. Especially the last one with the pool. Why would you not go to the pool or not enjoy yourself because you're pregnant? I just don't get it. I go to the pool myself with my wife pregnant multiple times a year. We go to the pool, we go to the beach, she dressed nice, she have skin, it's crazy, folks. Body positivity, man. You need to look at yourself in the mirror. That's what you need to do. It's on you. Not talking to her, of course, right? I'm just saying, like, to those people that think that really, really care, no, we don't. We don't care. We don't need a movement body positivity, we just don't care. You just want the high five. We don't have time for that. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Some of these are very good. The taking risks, I agree with that. What was the other one? The sharing with the toys, half of it. I think a lot of people tend to be too nice, but too nice to be not confrontational. But sometimes as a parent, you have to tell your kid, like, hey, man, this is not the space for this. I agree with the Germans. I agree with the Germans in some of these aspects. But let me know what you guys think. Do you guys agree with her? Or do you guys disagree with me? It all depends. In the meantime, guys, I'll see you next one.